Vote, vote, vote.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast. My name is Victor Muyakane. We have quite a lot in store for you, and for a glimpse of that, here are the highlights.
Three-tier government ambaye aliyekuwa Prime Minister anasema ni vizuri tutengeneze, tubadilishe katiba sababu ya three-tier. Hiyo hapana. Hiyo hatuelekei huko. Three-tier government, saizi tuko na two-tier na hiyo two-tier bado haijafanya kazi mzuri. Lakini iko katika barabara mzuri. Hii mambo ya ugatuzi.
It's time for unity, not politics. NASA leader Raila Odinga denies he's eyeing the presidency. Kenya readies for Africa's largest free trade area.
Iko sara kubwa sana kwangu. Eker saba nyanya watermelon kila kitu eker saba nakosha.
Brace yourselves for more. The Kenya Met Department warns of flash floods in the next 2 days. And a day in the life of a Kenya police reservist. Channel 1's Runcliffe Odit brings you the tale of unsung heroes. Indeed, that is just a glimpse of what we have in store for you tonight. Our sign language anchor is Stephen Dunde. Here's how you can get in touch with us and participate in this conversation, or rather the news that we will broadcast this particular evening, including an interview that's coming up later, being Family Matters on Sunday with John Jacob Curia, an interview that I assure you would be quite the investment for your evening. Here's how you can get in touch with us. SMS lines are open. 22162 is the number. You could also tweet us at KBC Channel 1, at Muyakane, and at JKioria. We shall be happy to not only sample your feedback live on air, but also respond to whatever you'd like to share with us. With that out of the way, we now begin our news bulletin this evening with politics. And ODM leader Raila Odinga now says that he is not interested in the politics of succession. Raila vehemently denied reports to the effect that he intends to contest for this country's presidency in 2022, terming them as untrue. The opposition leader maintains that at the moment he is only focused on pushing for the unity of the country, together with President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Raila Odinga led ODM luminaries to a homecoming ceremony for Migori County Woman Representative Pamela Odhiambo on Saturday. It is here that most of his trusted lieutenants are said to have declared that the Orange Party will front the former Prime Minister for presidency come 2022. Born out of these declarations, a section of the media made reports to the effect that Raila will make another stab at the presidency. But the ODM leader has come out to clear the air. In a statement sent to newsrooms, he says the views expressed by members of his party are not his own, adding that Kenyans should address themselves to the future, that we would want our children to live in and refuse to be distracted by the politics of 2022. He says he is only interested in the Building Bridges initiative, launched after he closed ranks with President Uhuru Kenyatta, that is geared towards healing the nation. The views have received support from a section of leaders who are calling on members of the political class to suspend 2022 succession politics.
tunaweza ongea sana, kazi ikosekane kuonekana. Kwa sababu kama mimi nimekuja hapa sasa, na mimi nipige kelele niseme ile nataka, hata ile kazi kidogo tunafanya hapa haitaonekana. Hatuwezi kuwa Uhuru Kenyatta hasikiki ile kazi anafanya, tutasikiza siasa peke yake.
So the issue of succession should not be an issue for now. We should wait until 2021. And what I'm saying is that when 2021 comes, we are going to support what the president will say.
Led by Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mwangi Kiunjuri, the leaders say the dust resulting from 2017 general elections is yet to settle, arguing that it is premature to be discussing the next polls.
We have 4 years to do that. And the 5th year, as usual, we will come back to you and tell you to gauge our development record. If there is something to be credited, then we shall be re-elected. But more so is that Uhuru Kenyatta will be able to say, this is what I did for you.
If we support our president 2022, we will not need to go out doing campaigns. Simtaamuka tu muende mtupatie kura. Ya kwa sababu Wanjiku kama akona njaa atataka kusikia siasa kweli? Yule mtu ameshiba ndiye anataka kusikia politics.
Eric Biegon reporting for Channel 1 News.
Now, political and religious leaders continue to differ on the calls to have a referendum to review the system of governance that we have currently. While Kajiado Governor Joseph Olelenku dismisses the need for a poll, a section of MPs from Narok want the referendum push demystified. This as a section of Muslim leaders from North Rift viewing a referendum, rather they view the referendum as an unnecessary burden on taxpayers.
Debate on whether the 2010 constitution should now be reviewed continues to dominate political platforms. Kajiado Governor Joseph Olelenku, opposed to a referendum, is urging leaders to be patient with the devolution.
Three-tier government ambaye aliyekuwa Prime Minister anasema ni vizuri tutengeneze, tubadilishe katiba sababu ya three-tier. Hiyo hapana. Hiyo hatuelekei huko. Three-tier government, saizi tuko na two-tier, na hiyo two-tier bado haijafanya kazi mzuri, lakini iko katika barabara mzuri, hii mambo ya ugatuzi.
Governor Lenku says amendment to the constitution through a referendum is untimely. He says devolution has not been given sufficient time to realize its fruits.
Devolution be given time so that after considering or evaluating it 10 years, 20 years from now, we consider whether there is a need for alternative or we grow it.
And half a dozen.
Varying voices regarding referendum were aired in neighboring Narok County. Narok North MP Moitalelo Lekenta is in support of the review of the constitution, urging politicians to uphold peace in their push.
Na wale wa referendum, wale wasio wa referendum, sababu referendum tuna support, tufanye kwa amani, si ndio? Tulisema tutaapishwa, watu wengine wakasema hamtaapishwa, tuliapishwa na ndio tukasema, na ndio mkaita sisi haraka tushike mikono tuseme sasa tuko pamoja. Kwa hivyo referendum ikija, mimi naambia watu wa Narok wote, unajua mtu anaitwa Uhuru ni rafiki yangu sana, na Wamasai wanapenda Uhuru sana, na hata unafurahi sana tumerudi huko, lakini tunapitia Raila, si ndio?
Narok Senator Ledama Olekina supported restructuring of national executive but opposed abolishment of counties.
Na ndio nasema ya kwamba wakati huu tunazungumza maneno ya referendum, lazima tueleze Wamasai ama we demystify hii referendum inamaanisha nini. Ndio ipaswa wakati ile tutaenda kupiga kura, tusipige kura ambalo ile itafanya ya kwamba Wamasai wawe wanaenda Nakuru huko ndio wapatiwe gavana wao huko. Lazima we must demystify this.
Kenya will in the coming weeks submit the official instruments of the Continental Free Trade Area with the African Union after the National Assembly ratified the pact last week. This follows a decision to create the largest Africa trading bloc by the African heads of state and governments in March of this year. This even as Kenya hosts the new Ethiopian Prime Minister, Abiy Ahmed, who was in the country for bilateral talks centering on trade between Kenya and Ethiopia.
Uhuru Kenyatta, ladies and gentlemen.
Less than 2 months after 44 African countries agreed to create the Continental Free Trade Area, Kenya has taken the lead in ratifying the pact after the National Assembly approved it last week. The deal, expected to benefit the 1.2 billion population in Africa, intends to increase employment and economic growth in the continent. State House spokesperson Manoa Sipisu says the country will deposit the official instruments for the trade pact at the AU offices in Addis Ababa this week.
Rwanda and Ghana have both ratified, making us the third ones to ratify, but now the race is on for who is the first to deposit the instrument, and we hope to be the first.
Intra-African trade has been relatively low, accounting for only 10% of all commerce, with Kenya now angling to grow its trade volumes with the coming to life of the Trade Pact.
This matter of trade, as you realize, has been top on the President's agenda, remains so, especially in terms of getting the region to work together, and also in terms of getting Africa to work together.
22 African nations, however, need to ratify the pact before it can be actualized. Meanwhile, Kenya will host 2 heads of state this week. Ethiopian Prime Minister Ahmed Abiy arrived in the country this afternoon. This will be the first state visit by Abiy, who assumed office in April, with talks between him and his host President Uhuru Kenyatta expected to center on strengthening economic relations and regional security.
Areas of attention for us include special consideration for Kenya's investors who want to participate in Ethiopia's financial sector, collaboration in the promotion of small and medium-scale enterprises, energy, especially in relation to ongoing construction of transmission lines between Ethiopia and Suswa.
Djibouti President Ismail Omar Guelleh will arrive in the country on Wednesday for bilateral talks focusing on investments as well as the exemption of visa for diplomatic officials and senior government officials. Meanwhile, President Uhuru Kenyatta was declared the winner of a super prize Great Builder Trophy Babakar Ndiaye of the Africa Road Builders 2018 in recognition of his leadership and for the transformation of the road network, the standard gauge railway and the simplification of air transport. The award will officially be presented to the head of state on May 23rd. John Jacob Curia, Channel 1 News.
Now, key political figures from Western Kenya are weighing up their next move following the coming together of President Uhuru Kenyatta and NASA leader Raila Odinga. The group, drawn from Ford Kenya, New Ford Kenya and Amani National Congress parties, disclosed they are strategizing on how best to actualize the elusive Luhya unity, even as they indicated their willingness to work with Deputy President William Ruto ahead of the 2022 elections.
Deputy President William Ruto visited retired President Daniel Arap Moi's Kabarak home on Thursday, but it was later confirmed that the Deputy President was unable to see the retired president. Ever since this aborted visit, the political scene has been abuzz with discussions over what might have transpired. Ruto's camp has since maintained that Moi's son Gideon orchestrated the whole incident.
Mimi kama chairman yao wabunge wote ya Kalenjin, mimi nimetafuta appointment tuende tusalimie huyo mzee, ni tabu. Inapeanwa tu polepole kama Panadol na kijana yake. Mimi nataka kuambia Gideon sasa, fungua njia sisi tukuje tuambie mzee asante na kumwambia pongezi.
According to DP's most ardent political ally, the Elgeyo Marakwet Senator Kipchumba Murkomen, it's not the first time the KANU chairman has blocked attempts by Ruto to see the former head of state.
I know the plan ni kuset deputy president ati agenda kuona Moi, lakini waseme ukweli. Mara ngapi deputy president anataka kwenda kusalimia mzee na kumwambia tukae namna hii, alafu wakora hapo wenye brokers wenye wako gate wamekataa.
But Moi's camp has responded in kind.
Kuna njia ama mwelekeo ambayo ukitaka kutembelea mtu unafuata. Ni vizuri naibu wa rais wangekutana kwanza na Gideon ambaye ni senator wa Baringo ili wasungumze yale wanaona wametofautiana kabla hawajaenda kwa mzee.
Supporters of Gideon Moi insist that the deputy president has no one else to blame but his own handlers.
Kuna walaghai ambao wameenda wakadanganya jana naibu rais, wakamweleza kwamba mzee amepatia yeye appointment pale Kabarak na mzee hajui. Sasa they have embarrassed the whole deputy president.
Former Bureti MP Franklin Bate says it's too early to tell what exactly transpired.
We may be breathing hot air on an issue that was not properly handled by the handlers of the deputy president and the handlers of the former president. Either way, the former president had an appointment with his doctors, and that has been said so openly.
Bate, who at one time served as a State House controller, however holds the view that it is wrong to blame the KANU chairman for the debacle, given that the retired president has people who handle his diary.
There is a private secretary who is a gatekeeper for the president, not his son. The son is not the gatekeeper of the father. There is a private secretary by the name of John Locorio, and with assistants. So one would want to know, did Mr. Locorio put on his diary the visit by the deputy president?
His sentiments resonated well with those of political commentator Martin Andati.
But the DP must also have organized properly, so that you don't go and get embarrassed. Because if he had made arrangements to go and see the retired president, then he should have, they would have known what time he would be having the doctor. So there's no way he would have failed to see him. But I think it's also some kind of reactionary and panic.
Ruto's place in Rift Valley and national politics, according to Andati, to a large extent, informs his present relationship with the Mois.
Moi family never expected William Ruto to take over the Moi mantle, especially the kingmanship of the Kalenjin nation. So they never saw it coming, and the Moi really trusted William. But in 2007, William made sure that all the Moi sons lost elections in a very humiliating way. And then after that, ran with the Kalenjin nation. So I think for that, Mzee Moi has never forgiven William Ruto.
Ruto's visit came weeks after NASA leader Raila Odinga visited the former president. Eric Biegon reporting for Channel 1 News.
Now, the Kenya Meteorological Department is warning Kenyans to brace for flash floods on Monday, with heavy downpour expected to pound parts of the country on Sunday evening. The advisory that covers the next 2 days indicates that Nairobi, Western Kenya, Nyanza, Rift Valley, North and Southeastern Kenya, coast and central regions are likely to record heavy downpour. Linus Mashigadi reports.
In a statement, the Kenya Meteorological Department says people living in urban areas should watch out for flash floods. The forecast zones in on western, south and central Rift Valley, central Kenya, including Nairobi, which are expected to receive heavy rainfall of more than 40 millimeters in the next 24 hours. The weatherman further says heavy rainfall is also expected in the south of the country, including southern Rift Valley and highlands west of the Rift Valley. It outlines other areas of concern, which include Kwale, Mombasa, Kilifi, Tana River, Lamu, Kericho, Narok, Kisii and Bomet. Meanwhile, there seems no let up as the pounding rains continue to cause havoc. A 7-acre banana plantation was swept away by floods in Garissa County, while farmers in Tharaka Nithi County are counting losses after crops were swept away by landslides.
Maji anaharibu, hakuna bahali ya kukaa. Kwa kasara kubwa sana, miti naanguka 48.
Yoyote kitu iko na kitu yoyote anaenda. Kitu naenda yote, hakuna hasara, narudi kwa bande hizo.
Mahindi yameenda mengi sana. Kuna majani chai yameenda. Majani hata nilikuwa natarajia kuvuna leo. Kuna kahawa, hata kahawa ya nyewa imeenda.
The farmers who have expressed fears of looming food shortage in months to come are now appealing for speedy interventions from the government.
Barabara baka misha shamba kutoka mekusha kuna barabara. Hakuna bali sisi nabita maji tu motobe tubu kale nabita. Hakuna bali kulalisha maji hata kama nabata sisi mashini.
Sababu ya hii maji ya shule sasa naomba ifikiriwe. Shule iende ifikirie bure maji itaipeleka kwa barabara main pale juu siwe inaelekea pande hii. Sababu kiwa inaelekea pande hii ni wakati wa maisha. Hiyo kitu si hata ya kumalizika. Itaendelea kuharibu. Hata ukiangalia huko maji ile ikuja usiku tena unaona imetengeneza hata mtaro.
Linus Moshigadi for Channel 1 News.
We now take a short break. We'll be right back with more content after the break. But once again, I wish to invite you to communicate with us and share with us your feedback and your views and reviews on the news, as I like to call it. I can already see some of you, contacting us. Joseph Msani Munyinya Mwai, one of our most loyal viewers from Kirinyaga. Thank you so much. And the Ndegwa family in Kiambu, thank you so much for that. We should be able to sample some of these SMSs and tweets later on. But for now, we'll take a breather.
Every 4 minutes is a chance for you to win big with Mega Dollar. Just go to Lipa na M-Pesa, enter paybill number 295888, account name KBC, and amount from 10 shillings or more. Then select your 10 numbers from 1 to 80 and send to 29588. You can win up to 30 million shillings. Start playing now and win. Mega Dollar. Big winners every 4 minutes.
This week on KBC Channel 1.
And they could also come after your daughter.
Remember the girl that you kidnapped? Okay. Well, I want to give her another scare, but really serious. I want to remind her mother who I am.
The 844 syllabus is okay, but the way the content is put is the problem.
Why are we trying to be so nonchalant about something as important as education?
What if mom hata iniongelesha forever?
I wouldn't worry about that. Si unatafanya kitu hii hadi nitakuwa nahitaji forgiveness yako.
Everybody Gwanja!
Years ago, this place was producing copper.
Welcome back. Now, cases of cattle rustling are a common phenomenon among pastoralist communities. Herders are forced to carry around guns and other lethal weapons in order to safeguard their livestock in the grazing fields. But while the allure of stealing to gain status in the community is real, some men in the frontier counties use their guns to protect the livestock instead. These are the National Police Service Reservists, commonly known as KPR. Roncliffe Odit visited West Pokot and Baringo counties and experienced firsthand the encounters of the civilian cops, and now brings you the story of the unsung heroes.
One might confuse this for a scene in a Hollywood movie. But this is Kambi Karaya near Kainuk along the volatile Turkana-West Pokot border. This is a region that has been in the news for all the wrong reasons. A region bedeviled by incidences of cattle rustling. I accompanied a group of Kenya police reservists who are leading security forces in recovering stolen cattle from rustlers deep in the rough terrain. Now, this exercise is not for the faint-hearted. The officers work in risky situations. The terrain is harsh and the sun is unforgiving. Clad in their jungle uniform, they clutch their guns, ready to defend. Gunshots fill the air as the KPR lead the Kenya police officers in repulsing the bandits. And then it is all smiles as the recovered loot is escorted back to the village. These are Kenya Police Reservists, KPR. They can be directly credited for the reduction in the number of attacks among the pastoralist communities here in West Pokot. Yet they remain uncelebrated.
Sisi KPR tuko na kazi ngumu sana. Kazi ya kuchunga watu na kuchunga mahali. Na serikali mpaka saa hii hatuja kukumbuka sisi mpaka saa hii. Sisi tu tunakufa.
Clement Pogisio, a reformed bandit, is the county commander of the KPR in West Pokot. He resides in Nasokol village, West Pokot County, and he was part of our mission to repulse bandits and recover the stolen cattle in Kambikaraya. As the head of the police reservist in West Pokot County, Pogisio is in possession of a licensed firearm and full uniform, thanks to the recently revised KPR program.
Wakati mwingi tunalemeana because we are from the same village. So tungependa serikali tupatie nguvu ya kuwa na risasi ya kutosha na bunduki za kisasa kusudi tupate kuencounter hii watu.
But not all KPR officers have uniforms or licensed firearms. Some have to acquire their own.
Unapikana mpaka risasi mbili. Ukienda kuripoti hapa kwa polisi, kesho wewe utapatia watu 8. Ijaze na ile mbili inabaki ni 10 yote. Hiyo 10 haiwezi fanya kitu.
The Kenya Police Reservists live among locals in their native villages, hence they understand the terrain.
Kitu kifanyika mara moja tuko pale na tunajua routes sana. Ndio tunajua pale kama tunasikia area fulani mara moja tumeingia pale.
To assemble such an operation, the county commander KPR mobilizes officers by calling them on their cell phones, and they quickly assemble to get ready to move.
Kujitolea hii kazi kwa sababu area ilikuwa mbaya sana na China Pokot ilikuwa mbaya sana. Wapokot Wesi, Baringo inasikika kila mahali.
Wenzetu upande wa Turkana wakanyemelea watu 8, wakanyemelea watu 2. Akawawa pale na mabunduki zao wakachukuliwa na wajambazi.
In the new KPR program launched by the Inspector General of Police Joseph Boynet, KPR officers will now be given uniforms apart from being issued with licensed firearms. This will enable them better their service to the communities.
Wale wa reserve, mpango yenu tumetengeneza sawa sawa, vile sheria imewekwa, vile mmekuwa recruited, vile mmepewa nguo za serikali, silaha za serikali na mtalipwa mshahara yenu vile serikali imesema, vile sheria inasema.
KPR was formed in 1948 to assist the regular police in the maintenance of law and order. Currently, the KPR exists in rural areas of Kenya, in Samburu, Turkana, West Pokot, Elgeyo Marakwet, Laikipia, Baringo, Lamu, and Tana River counties. In November 2012, over 42 police officers were brutally killed in Baragoi, Samburu County, while in pursuit of 450 cattle stolen from Samburu herders by raiders from the neighboring Turkana County. 2 years later, in October of 2014, at least 22 police officers and 3 civilians were killed in an early morning attack by suspected Pokot bandits in Kapedo, Turkana County. And sadly, in both cases, many blamed the officers for being unfamiliar with the terrain.
Ukiimplement hiyo mpango ati mumepewa uniform nzuri na silaha ni ya kuchunga jamii yote.
But now these KPR dress like police officers, act like police officers, chess like police officers, even arrest like police officers. But sadly, they are never trained nor paid like police officers.
Na mpaka saa hii serikali hatujapatia hata mshahara hata shilingi 10. Kusema tu KPR mkuje mchukue hiyo shilingi 10 upelekee watoto Beremende.
In the meantime, the government has enrolled all KPR to a monthly stipend of 5,000 shillings. While 5,000 remains way too little for the risks involved, the KPR believe theirs is a sacrifice to the country, only hoping that one day the government will appreciate their efforts even more. To these uncelebrated heroes, I salute. But in a country where hashtags are created, trended, and hopefully not forgotten, their sacrifice should not go unrecognized, uncelebrated, or untold. For KBC Channel 1, I'm Roncliffe, OD.
Right, that's a story prepared for you and for your viewing pleasure by our very own Roncliffe Odit. Well done, brother. Now, a family in Kiambu County is seeking justice following the death of their daughter after delivering a baby through cesarean section at the Gatundu Level 4 hospital. The family is accusing the doctor who operated on the late Rose Waithera Kanyingi of negligence following a post-mortem report which shows that her intestines were ruptured during delivery.
A family from Gatundu South, Kiambu County is mourning the death of their 30-year-old daughter who lost her life 2 weeks after delivering a baby boy at Gatundu Level 4 Hospital through cesarean section.
Ilibidi daktari mwenyewe amweke zile pipes huwa zinawekwa kwenye mapua zinapitia kwenye throat zinaenda mpaka kwa tumbo za kutoa ile uchafu iko kwa tumbo. Ambapo aliweka hizo pipes aliweza kukaa kwa siku 2.5, ambapo daktari alirudi tena kumwangalia akaona station yake bado hajakuwa ana recover, na kulingana na zile complaints Rose alikuwa anasema bado tumbo ilikuwa inauma na ilikuwa inazidi kuuma kwa kila siku na kufura kukua ngumu kabisa.
They say the late Rose Waithera Kanyingi started complaining of stomach aches soon after the procedure and was referred to Thika Level 5 Hospital.
Kulingana na vile tumekuja kugundua kwamba daktari huko Gatundu Hospital ndio alikuwa na hiyo makosa yote, sisi tunataka county government na national government yote ishirikiane na hii familia ndio tuweze kupata justice ya mtoto huyu mwenye aliachwa na mama yake.
However, Rose would develop breathing problems after undergoing a second operation.
Akakaa ICU for 1 day. Wakati alipata americover, ikabidi sasa amrudishe kwa ward number 2 hapa Thika Level 5 Hospital, na akamwekea mtungi ya oxygen yenye ambayo ilikuwa inamsaidia kwa kupumua. Sasa wakati nilikuja on Sunday nikapata bado ana complain, uchungu bado haijaisha kwa tumbo, lakini tumbo yenyewe ilikuwa imepungua kulingana na vile ilikuwa imefura mbeleni. Nikaita daktari na akakuja tukajaribu kumshughulikia, lakini kwa bahati mbaya hiyo saa 8 sasa wakati nilikuwa nimeingia, mimi hata akipumzika mimi tulikuwa naye hapo kama tunajaribu kumshughulikia na daktari.
A post-mortem conducted on a body in the presence of an independent pathologist who is a family member and county pathologist confirmed that the cesarean section was botched.
In the autopsy report, which we have shared with the family, it's come out very clearly that she suffered from a lot of hemorrhage. She suffered a lot of hemorrhage. She lost about 2 liters of blood.
However, Kiambu County Health CEC Joseph Murega dismissed allegations of negligence.
But occasionally, if something occurs, of course, it might have bad publicity. But that does not mean it is the total reality. Anything but it should be over-publicized.
Murega says they have also forwarded samples of tissues from the deceased body to the government laboratory for further tests.
Now, police in Kiambu County have arrested a notorious car thief who has been terrorizing residents of Ruiru, Juja and Thika for close to 5 years. John Maina Kariuki was apprehended in Area 14 in Mugudha Estate. He was found in possession of 2 stolen vehicles, a pistol and several other items believed to be stolen. The proverbial 40 days of a thief ran out for a man police describe as a notorious car thief, seemingly with the 9 lives of a cat. In a sting operation, detectives from Ruiru and Juja police divisions nabbed John Maina Kariuki the suspected leader of a car theft syndicate who had eluded police for over 5 years. Police raided Kariuki's rented house at the Area 14 in Mugudha Estate of Ruiru Sub-County and recovered 2 cars, fake vehicle number plates, 1 pistol, handcuffs and laptops, among other items. Kiambu County Police Commander Adiel Nyange, who led the operation, said the suspect is the mastermind of car thefts in Kimbo, Thika, Juja and Nairobi.
And we've come to realize that because they operate both Nairobi and Kiambu, we have teamed up since morning with Kiambu and the Nairobi team, together a joint operation to go ahead with the recoveries and arresting more criminals. That continue giving us more information. Now, because you see the results, continue giving us more information, more and more. We are going to act on it, the information that you give us, and you'll get the results. I want to say that we are embracing the community policing, and these are the results. Give us information, these are the results. We will secure this county, and not only Kiambu County, both Kiambu and the Nairobi County.
Residents of Mugudha and Kariuki's neighbors expressed shock at the discovery that he was a wanted criminal.
Anaongeaga tu lakini kuongea akitaka kuoshewa kagari tu. Anawaambia osha hiyo kagari tu. Hata kuna mtu anaweza hata saa hii wanashangaa. Na ameshangaa wengi hata saa hii wanatupata nje wanatuuliza nini tunawaambia, anasema ai kweli.
Tunamuita tu mkubwa. Nakuja na gari anatusalimia. Tunaona tu kama ni mkubwa, tunamheshimu, anakuja anaingia kwa nyumba yake, anatoka. Saa zingine anakuja na mabibi, anaenda. Sasa tunamjua tu hivyo. Haongeangi na watu. Anakuja tu kama ameingia kwa nyumba yake, kutoka anatoka anaenda. Anakujanga usiku, kitu saa 7, saa 8 ya usiku. Na anatoka asubuhi saa 10. Magari anakuja na tofauti.
The arrest comes barely a week after 3 suspects were gunned down in Kamaki's area of Ruiru after police foiled a robbery attempt at a cosmetics go-down. Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, Kisumu office and the Royal City Hotels partnered to put a smile on the faces of destitute children in the Dawn of Hope Children's Home in the sprawling Bandani slums in Kisumu County. Of course, the team donated foodstuffs and treated the children to a special lunch.
Chao chakula kisomana ukitafuna wakesha uwezi kulala tena.
It was a day like no other at the Dawn of Hope Children's Home in Kisumu sprawling Bandani slums as Kenya Broadcasting Corporation and the Royal City Hotel partnered to make the day special for the tens of children in the institution. The team finding time to encourage the less fortunate children residing in the institution.
Encourage yourself every day and give yourselves targets. I normally tell my team as a manager, because they're also responsible to me, you see. Give yourselves targets every day, and once you give yourselves targets, work towards those targets. No matter what your target is. If you say, let's say like you're in school, your target is to attain 500 marks. It's something which is attainable.
Masomo ni nzuri, lakini masomo bila bidii haina faida. Ukisoma tia bidii. Maisha yasemekana ni ngumu, lakini ni wewe kama mtu mwenyewe wafanya maisha iwe ngumu. Fanya maisha yako uwe ukiweka bidii.
The management of the children's home called for more well-wishers to come in and assist the institution.
Inanyesha, lakini kama mtasaidia hata ni kidogo, tupate tu mahali pa kustudy books. Sometimes books ni shida, saa zingine viatu, slippers. Kama unataka kwenda chooni, hata unashangaa ni vipi utaenda chooni mguu chini.
The management has also offered apprentice to one girl from the institution.
I want to give one opportunity to one girl to train at our hotel.
The institution cares for orphans and rescued children from the age of 5 to 18. Achola Simon for Channel 1 News from Kisumu County.
Now, a pregnant middle-aged woman is in a stable condition at a hospital in Marsabit County, after sustaining gunshot wounds from a stray bullet situation. Elsewhere, the government will construct a cancer center in Baringo County in honor of the late Baringo South Member of Parliament, Grace Kipchoim. Details of these and other stories in the County Roundup.
Captain Stephanus Kurga lands in Ebor village to find expectant residents all keen on seeing an injured pregnant woman getting help. She was accidentally injured on her right leg by stray bullets fired by home guards pursuing a hyena that had attacked the village. Efforts to ferry her to the nearby health center had been hampered by the flooding in the area, which has rendered roads impassable. She was later flown to Sololo Health Center, where she's said to be in stable condition.
The calf muscle, the bullet just has a very bad exit because of a point of entry has a very small one. A point of exit is a committed fracture, a very bad one. We have also big bones, just came out, we read the bleeding, put the splints together, and I left the patient in the stable condition.
Elsewhere, the government will construct a cancer center in Baringo County in honor of the late Baringo South MP Grace Kipchoim. Speaking in Mochongoi after her burial, National Assembly Health Committee Chair Sabina Chege said the cancer center is among 15 that will be established in the country to cater for patients.
Kwa heshima ya mama, ile cancer center itakuwa ya kwanza kujengwa katika nchi ya Kenya. Iwe ni hapa Baringo, ili tumkumbuke mama na pia tuendelee kupigana na huu ugonjwa wa kansa.
Meanwhile, the Kenya Union of the Blind has launched a national registration drive of visually impaired persons. The union says the census will assist them, collaborate with the government and other stakeholders to promote the rights of persons who are visually impaired.
Wakati mtu anataka mwakato unataka kutoa huduma bora, ni lazima ujue una watu wangapi, una mipangilio gani, ili misaada yoyote ile ama usaidizi wote ule ambao utataka kutoa uwe umelenga watu wengine wasiwachwe nyuma.
And a section of public transport stakeholders are faulting the Kisii County government for alleged laxity. And a section of public transport stakeholders are faulting the Kisii County government for alleged laxity in infrastructure development. Alfayo Tuke, a former CEO of the Kenya Transporters Association, says there is little infrastructural growth 5 years after implementation of devolution. His sentiments were echoed by bodaboda operators who are lamenting high taxes and dilapidated roads.
Kuna siku zingine huwa tunapata shida hapa mpaka hata inafikia wakati tunafunga hizi barabara kwa ajili ndio tupate mwenye hiyo barabara ni nani. Sasa inafikia kiwango kwamba hakuna mwenye anachitokeza kutuambia kwamba hii barabara ni ya fulani, ili tudiri na huyo.
Finally, student leaders at Kenyatta University have warned officials of the University Academic Staff Union, WASU, against attempting to disrupt learning at the institution as from tomorrow. Led by Kenyatta University Students Association, KUSA President Wycliffe Kipsang, the students say WASU should respect the decision of lecturers who have individually signed commitment letters to resume duty, even as the strike by public universities loans continues.
It is the right of everyone to picket, but once we have gone to class and the lecturer in charge is ready to teach, he or she should be given time to teach.
Now we take a short break. We'll be right back with Richard Munga with the sports news.
Shh, just calm down. Stay calm, all right? Nothing good will come from you screaming, all right?
I also have a right. This house is mine just as much yours. I dare you to keep telling me to go into the kitchen, and we'll see what Emilio and Mr. Renato say once I tell them.
It can't be.